Hello everybody, it's Doctor Who time again. It's Peter Capaldi. Say that several times when you've had far too much whiskey. Peter Capaldi's third season, and it's episode 2, and this episode is called Smile. Now at first glance, whether it's from the trailer or from within the first 10 minutes of watching this episode, you just kind of get the impression it's just your atypical Doctor Who episode. Doctor and his assistant turn up on a planet. It looks really kind of happy and joy, but there's something mysterious underlying there. There's some alien force which is manipulating this, that and the others, and even in this case there's an evil nanobot kind of society which is wiping out anybody who gets sad or angry or whatever. The Doctor quickly comes to the conclusion that these robots were designed by humans, because this is essentially a human colony, and the robots have evolved to a state where, at first glance, they were sent there to, maintain satisfaction for the human hosts, and because they've evolved, and inevitably, when one person dies, the robots recognise grief and anger and so on, and they realise that that is the enemy because their programming is to maintain happiness and satisfaction, so they eventually eradicate anybody who, feels these negative emotions. And we get all that. And that's okay. That was just a typical Doctor Who episode. But the great thing about this episode, and which is a common trend in Peter Capaldi's episodes actually, or I wouldn't necessarily say a common trend, but something that they more necessarily focus on, is what's actually underneath all this and the whole point behind it. And by the time you finish watching this episode, you realise it really does bring it down to what the Doctor does. And just quickly stepping out of me waffling on, Bill as a character does say it very plain and simple in regards to what the Doctor is doing. She makes points like, you're actually a policeman, you're an intergalactic policeman, that's how you see yourself, that's why you're happy with the TARDIS being a police box, that's why you feel compelled to continue to maintain order throughout time and space. And in one hand, that's really, really good, because for new audiences who are just embracing Doctor Who, they kind of get this real simplified idea of what the Doctor is. And I like it. It's good. It's a good idea. And another thing I really, really like is the fact that the humans don't talk a lot. The Doctor and his assistant do all the talking. They come to their own conclusions, and the humans play second fiddle, and they just kind of arrive in on whatever the events are. And that's what's done really well in this. Now, if you're thinking what I just said was a load of waffle, then let's go back to a few episodes where the humans just had too much to say. Let's go back to David Tennant and Donna Noble episode. Ugh, God damn it. And the planet Ood. And you had this I think it was it a double episode, that one? And you basically had an entire cast of humans, and all you wanted them to do was die. Fortunately, most of them did die, because not one of them had any form of charisma or character that you particularly cared about. And what we've seen, especially in the back end of, or should I say, the better episodes of last season of Peter Capaldi, and what we've seen so far in this season of Peter Capaldi, is that we're really getting less and less of too over-characterised human beings, because we don't really care about them. All we care about is the Doctor and his assistant. And I like that. It's good. That shows good writing, that does. Anyway, back to this episode. Again, what we see in this episode is kind of the Doctor explaining, in this case, what humans should have to accept in the future or under certain circumstances. It's not just all about humanity. It's about humanity having to adapt to certain situations and understand where they have to be. And sometimes they actually become the bearer of their own devastation at the end of the day. I mean, they created these robots. Eventually these robots became sentient beings who are still living by their original programming, and the humans just have to accept it. And that was what I got by the end of this episode. I really enjoyed that part of the episode. Now, before I go, I just want to get down to it. Do I like Bill or not? I like the character of Bill. I like the idea that we've got this innocent character. We have got a genuine innocent character. We haven't got a character who's involved in the big picture of things like we had with, with Cara, who was the impossible girl. And obviously, Amy Pond was essentially Matt Smith's first season. You know, the entire season was about the relationship from episode 1, where Matt Smith meets Amy Pond, and then all the way to the Pandora opens and right to the end of the episode. And that was all about Amy Pond. But the great thing about I won't go into Amy Pond, but anyway, at least the assistant hasn't got like another storyline in there. The assistant is just the assistant, and she's there, or he's there, or whatever, to give humanity to the Doctor. And that's what the assistant should all be about, as far as I'm concerned. And that's what I like about her character. I don't like the actress, I'll be honest. I don't find her entertaining. She's not a great actress. And put it this way, I mean, the last time we really got a character like this, it was Rose. But that was obviously the rebirth of Doctor Who with Christopher Eccleston's Doctor. That was the rebirth of Doctor Who. And that was a good time to have this character who thought, well, what the hell's going on here? Oh, look, a spaceship. We're going into the future. We're doing this, we're doing that. And that was really, really interesting, and it worked. She's not as good as Billie Piper as an actress, but it's basically the same kind of thing, isn't it? As long as she doesn't absorb the heart of the TARDIS by the end of the season, I'm not bothered. Anyway, guys, this episode, Smile, I quite enjoyed it. Like I say, I enjoyed the core of it more than I did really what was actually going on. And if that's anything to go by, then I like the direction that this season is going with Doctor Who. I know it's only episode 2, but, you know, let's roll on next week. Let's see what happens in Victorian England. Let's just hope it's not like another Space Whale episode. Do you remember that Space Whale episode with Amy Pond and Matt Smith? It kind of looks a bit like that. I hope it isn't. I hope there's like a twist in there somewhere. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, it's always a pleasure, never a chore. Click subscribe. If you want to see more, peace out, and I'll see you next time.